TV pundit Jenson Button is hopeful that F1 will enjoy a three-way title fight this coming season, and I think we all are as well. The former F1 world champion has seen all of the car launches and reckons he has a decent gauge on where the title favourites are at. Button is hopeful that Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes can all fight for race wins in the season ahead. The Red Bull is the only one we haven't seen realistically. It was obviously last year's car, but Red Bull always come out with a good car. I think they'll be competitive, said Button, speaking to Sky Sports. The Ferrari looks nice. It looks like they've worked on areas where they were weak and they've taken some risks in other areas. The car looks good. It's strange about Mercedes because the car, I would say it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful car, I would say, the Mercedes. They might possibly be changing the side pods. Surprised they didn't do that over the winter rather than into the season, but they obviously believe in the style they have for the first few races. Button is, of course, himself preparing for a major test in 2023 as part of NASCAR's Garage 56 entry for the Le Mans 24-hour race in June, and best of luck to him for that. Andretti Cadillac will have its engine supplied by Alpine, should it be successful in joining Formula 1. The Renault-owned sports car maker's chief executive, Laurent Rossi, made the revelation on Thursday at Alpine's F1 car launch for 2023. The FIA formally started a process that could lead to having new teams on the grid from 2025. Andretti Global and General Motors announced last month that they hope to compete in Formula 1 with a new all-American team using the Cadillac brand and employing at least one driver from the United States. We agreed that if they get their license to run in Formula 1, then we will provide them with a powertrain, Rossi said, per Reuters. But it's up to them to show that they can join the Formula 1 circus, and for that they need to go through the hoops, the process in place where they submit applications and they show that they bring value to the F1 circus and teams in general. It's for them to prove it and for others to assess. If they join, we'll be happy to join them. If they don't, it means that all in all, it didn't work out. McLaren CEO Zak Brown has revealed he is slowly reviewing a potential engine supplier change ahead of the 2026 season. McLaren has a partnership with Mercedes, having left Honda and Renault at the end of the last decade. But ahead of the new for 2026 engine regulations, the FIA confirmed 6 manufacturers have registered interest in supplying power units. With 5 of those OEMs already confirmed to be taking the grid, Alpine, Renault, Red Bull, Ford, Ferrari, Mercedes and Audi, the inclusion of Japanese manufacturer Honda raised eyebrows. Now, Honda's route back into Formula 1 seemed to have been cut off by Red Bull's partnership with Ford, although there is the potential for one of the remaining supplied teams on the grid to take up a works offer. On whether McLaren is assessing its potential opportunities, Brown replied, "We are very happy with Mercedes. We have some time to decide on what we want to do in 2026 and beyond. It is an exciting time for F1. To have as many manufacturers coming into the sport, I think it shows the growth and the excitement. It is something Andrea and I are in the process of slowly reviewing. We are in no great rush and very happy with Mercedes. So we will see how things play out in the next year or so before we need to make a decision." So plenty up in the air on and off the grid, but we are starting to focus now on who are going to be the title contenders as we get towards the new 2023 season. Do you agree with Jenson Button? Are we going to have a three-way title fight? Let us know in the comments section below, and of course, GPFans.com and GPFans Global for all the latest news in Formula 1.